Will be the death of America. If you are someone that does not think there is at least some truth to the statement, then you would be foolish to continue to ignore the facts. First off, let's look at the facts from the ongoing gun control issue, which has individualism at the center of it. The United States has more guns per resident than any other country on Earth. That is, 88 guns per 100 people. They suffer from the highest number of gun deaths per capita. Children are 17 times more likely to be murdered by firearms than in any other industrialized country. Since 1997, the U.S. has had 51 mass shootings. The U.S. also has 4 times more gun violence than any other developed countries. So why do 52% of Americans still agree with gun ownership rather than gun control? The answer is easy. They are simply too scared of gun control because of its collectivist policies. While most countries require licenses, registration, safety training and safe storage, and reason for purchase, many of the states do not. Americans for gun ownership argue that 1. It is a right and freedom, 2. That it is for the security of all, and 3. Gun control is not crime control. Individualism and wealth inequality in America. Ninety 92% of Americans think that wealth should be distributed more equally. Yet for some reason, the wealth gap keeps increasing at a significantly terrifying rate. The richest 1% take home 1/4 of the national income. The bottom 80% only have 7% of the nation's wealth between them. And all of this is because of the economic capitalism and individualism policies such as self-interest, competition, private property, economic freedom, and the free market. Americans need to find a solution to this growing issue. It shouldn't take an average worker 1 month to earn what the CEO makes in 1 hour. If the wealth gap continues to grow, consequences of poverty, bad health, violence, and oppression will be immense. American healthcare and individualism. The American healthcare system is mostly based on the individualistic values of competition, self-interest, economic freedom, and private property. Their system, however, is still very expensive. The U.S. spends 18% of their GDP on healthcare. The number one reason Americans file for bankruptcy is due to medical bills. Since care is privatized, doctors and insurers may charge as they like, so doctors are paid more. Well, if Americans have freedom of choice in their providers and their healthcare is expensive, then this must mean that it is one of the best systems, right? Wrong. That is absolutely wrong. 18,000 people die each year because they are uninsured. The U.S. is one of the only developed countries without universal health care for all. Those that can't afford health care often go without it. According to a report from the American Medical Association about the health of 55 to 64-year-olds, Brits are far more healthier than Americans, which had more of every illness they looked at. Even the poorest people in England, with all the environmental factors giving them the poorest health in the country, could expect to live longer than the wealthiest Americans. Americans need to pay attention to their deceiving healthcare system and look at how successful other developed countries such as Canada, France, and Britain's systems are. In France, you pay according to your means and achieve or receive according to your needs. This is one of the reasons France's healthcare always comes out near the top, if not first, for almost every international comparison. Their healthcare is based on the ideas of social security, universal healthcare, and other collectivist ideas such as cooperation, collective responsibility, public property, and collective interest or common good. America needs to stop treating healthcare as a commodity rather than a necessity. Why are Americans so afraid of socialist or collectivist healthcare? It seems to be working fairly well for other countries. Isn't it sad that a baby born in El Salvador has a better chance of surviving than a baby born in Detroit? The wealth cap, health issues, and gun violence could all be dealt with if only Americans stopped fearing collectivism. If they continue on the path they are on, believe me, individualism will be the death of them.